this part of the building got changed. There's no more basement going here. It's just gonna be a slab on grade, which is kind of a problem because I just dug this huge hole right here. Well, we're back on a job site that we've been doing a bunch of work on previously. You guys have seen some videos from it. They're building a giant addition between the two houses that are on this property here. And today we are prepping to dig the basement excavation for this addition. It's gonna be really big, it's gonna be really deep, and we got a lot to do to prepare for it. So part of the addition is gonna be aligned with this wall right here. And this part, this little cove in the house will be enclosed, and this wall will come straight out all the way across down to the end of the building, and it'll do more down there. But for now, what we're focused on here is there's a bunch of window wells. We got to get these out of here before we can dig the basement hole because we don't want window wells inside of a new building. There's a few of them here. I'm not sure how they're attached to the building. So we've got a hole dug next to this first one. We're finding all kinds of old abandoned utilities. You know, there's some old downspout piping there. There's some current downspout piping. We already ripped that out. There was a piece that went across here. It's a whole ordeal. But I got this one dug out and it's just ready to tug on now. And I want to see if it's going to move or if it's pinned into the house or what the situation is. Best case scenario, it'll just pull away with a little bit of force and we won't have to get real rough with it because we cannot afford to damage the existing foundation. As you can see here, all the windows have been blocked up in all the window wells, so we don't have to worry about hurting them, which is good. This window well over here does have a gas line and a water line running through it. And then there's also an electric wire over there. We got somebody working on that to make sure those utilities are turned off. Of course, like any old building, nobody really knows what goes where or why or what for or anything like that. So it's kind of slow going, all a little bit of a mystery. I got the excavator into good pulling position here. We're just gonna give this a little bit of a light tug and see what happens. I see movement. I think it's all just the caps on that wall giving up on us, which is fine. What I really want to see is movement of the whole window well. And I am not seeing that. All right there, that's all the machine's got. I'm lifting it up off the ground. Kind of bouncing on things. Still not enough. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. This might be more complicated than we thought. Something we might be able to do to make things just a smidge easier is kind of dig out this little section of dirt between these two window wells. We're gonna do that real quick and then we'll try tugging on it one more time. We got that all dug out there. Just took a little bit more time. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can pull on this thing now. I don't think it's gonna move, but we're gonna try before we go to more drastic measures. Nah, it still ain't budging. All right, well, we're gonna have to figure out a way to get that disconnected from the house. Well, no matter what we end up doing, hammering, cutting, whatever else we can come up with, we're gonna need to get them all dug out prior to getting the equipment here to do that so we can do them all at one time. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and get them dug out. Now, they're telling me that we got these two pipes down here shut off. The one towards the top of the screen is the water line, and this one's the gas line. So there's no certainty, no blueprints, no nothing to tell us that we've shut off the right valves. So we're gonna go ahead and just drill a pinhole in each one of these just to make sure before we go cutting them and committing. It's gonna be way easier to deal with a pinhole leak than a full-blown pipe cut, gushing everywhere kind of a leak.
Wait for your camera to get wet?
It's fine. Won't be the first or last time. Right here on the top, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. It's copper for sure. There we go, no pressure. Excellent.
All right, we're good there.
We are good. Yeah, do you want me to go ahead and drill in the gas line?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a little bit more scary.
Yeah. That one I have a harder time tapping off.
Almost there. Nothing appears to be leaking. That's good.
You smell anything?
I don't smell nothing.
Oh,
No.
You'd hear it hissing out of there if it was.
Yeah, there's nothing leaking. All right, we're good. We can go ahead and cut these then. Figured sawzall would be better than an angle grinder in this scenario. My battery dead?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get you another one.
Let's see if I can get this cut before he brings me a new battery back.
Hold on. I'll be over in a minute. Here.
Oh, I got most of the way through.
That's funny.
There we go. There we go. All we can do here is keep digging. I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up getting a company in here to cut these things. It's just what we had to do for other parts of this project, and I think it's what we're gonna do here. So we'll make ourselves a nice wide trench. I guess it actually won't be for us, it'll be for the concrete cutting guys, but we'll make it nice and wide so they got lots of room to work. All this dirt's gotta come here anyway. We're gonna make these trenches nice and big and wide. We'll bench them back a little bit too. Oh, but there's a pipe, that's fun. We're gonna make them safe for the concrete guys to get down in there and make some cuts. I'm sure we're gonna end up using a concrete cutting contractor. That's just the only way I see these coming out. Well, this project just keeps getting more and more interesting. For one, I've discovered there's an entire brick footer that's already in line with the building, which is where the new building is supposed to go. Two, big man who owns a general contracting company that we are working for showed up today to meet with the clients or something, I'm not sure. But he walked over here and the first thing he said was, this part of the building got changed. There's no more basement going here. It's just gonna be a slab on grade, which is kind of a problem because I just dug this huge hole right here. So we're gonna abandon this. They're gonna end up cutting these off really shallow and we'll backfill all this with stone. We'll backfill the holes with stone here. Probably gonna have to reconnect those pipes we cut. It's a doozy of a situation. So we're gonna kind of change gears and we're gonna go dig somewhere else now. Previously in another video, you guys saw us dig these pits next to this big wall here because we were gonna cut these walls and demolish them. That's changed. The walls are staying. They're now building a new wall right on the footer behind. So we need to also dig out this space between the two pits that we dug, so that way they can put the wall on that footer the whole way across there. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out real quick. This wall that we're working next to, everything on it has to stay, which means the caps, all the ornamental stuff on top, and everything like that. So we gotta be super careful around it. Some of you that view the channel often may notice that we're not using my typical excavator machine. I had to rent this Bobcat for today and actually for this whole week because my machine is in the shop. It developed a leak the last time we were out here on this job and it was leaking really bad from underneath. Turns out it's leaking from the top side of the hydraulic swivel that's underneath the cab, and the cab has to come off the machine to repair it. So it's in the shop for a little bit, and I didn't want to quit working, so we had to rent this one. Of course, there's a bunch of buried utilities and such along this wall, some conduit, a couple drains, all stuff we can work through, but I'm telling you what, the drainage pipe they installed on this stuff is the worst ever. It's that corrugated and perforated pipe that's wrapped in packing peanuts and some fabric. I'm sure it's a nice product when you install it, probably super cheap and easy to install, but it is the biggest mess, and in my opinion, environmental hazard when it gets torn out. We got all that dug out nice and fine. It was a pain digging around some of the conduits. Technically they're all supposed to go and be demolished, but I didn't want to tear things up more than I had to because I'm just not quite qualified to work on that stuff. Did snag one. Don't think we broke it. I'm not sure. But anyway, they're supposed to go, so no harm, no foul. I had a plan for today, and we are just completely rewriting the plan as we learn more about what we're supposed to be doing here. On the other side of this concrete wall, we've got these two little wing walls on either side of the fountain that's in between. These need to get a concrete cut here and probably another one in the middle somewhere That way we can pull this wall out and get it out. The fountain and the big wall are staying, but these pillars and these walls got to go. So we're gonna go ahead and dig around these, get a nice big trench there so that way the concrete cutting guy can get in and make the cuts where he needs to. Just like everything else here, we gotta dig nice and close to this thing without tearing it up. It is getting torn out, but we're gonna try and save components of it, so we don't wanna be putting scratches and stuff or dinging up corners on the capstones or that kind of thing. Oh, looky there. Finding utilities already. First scoop. Brilliant. Gotta spin all the way around with this stuff so Aiden can take it from here, add it to our collection of dirt. Try to separate out the trash. Yep, there's more trash. And more trash. Got that all cleaned up. We're gonna go over and dig out the other wall. What a surprise, more trash. And more trash. Well, there we go. We got this one all cleaned out and ready to go. This should have no problem making a cut there, maybe another one there. I'm not sure how it's all gonna go. The next thing I would like to do would be to dig out around this window well, but they still have the scaffolding up to take this light down, so we can't do that. So what we're gonna do instead is spend the last hour of the day or something like that here ripping out topsoil out of this area. This whole area was a bunch of beautiful gardens. If you watched some of the previous videos in this project, you would have seen some of that. We plucked up a bunch of pavers here and everything. It was a whole ordeal, but there's another video. This whole area is going to be turned into a ballroom, and it's going to be a slab on grade. And so we want to get this topsoil out of here because the grade is going to match the old subgrade. We're going to reuse that, but this is not suitable soil to be building on, so it's got to come out of here. So I think we're just going to start plucking that away. We'll probably find a bunch more trash. It's kind of been the theme of digging in here. And we'll get all this dirt out so it can be replaced with stone, so that way it can be built on. Well, you guys know the drill with this stuff. We're just making dirt piles and hauling them out with a skid steer. Oh, look! A rainbow box. Look at all the rainbows that are coming out of that thing. But as I was saying, it's pretty standard, is what you just seen, so I'm not going to bore you with it. We'll catch up with you once we got something more exciting. We're back on the project. It's another day. I got my machine back. It was the most expensive repair I've ever had on that machine. I'll tell you about it later, but right now we had to stop digging and help the general contractor get a big lantern off the wall of this house. This thing is giant. It goes from like right there all the way up to there, and it's huge and heavy, and so we're gonna lower it down with the machine. That way nobody gets hurt by it trying to lift it off of there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm all the way. Give me 1 second. Coming up. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be a challenge to get it off of there.
I got a few tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm in no rush. I'm just thinking about the consequences of that globe shattering and those pieces falling onto your leg.
Yeah.
You got some important arteries in there. Okay, going up.
Stop.
Can you get off of those?
Just be careful not to hit that hot wire up there. I don't want that to go through the
I think you need to go down.
Down, coming down.
Be careful that, like I said, don't let it hit that hot wire.
All right, stop.
I did not fully think through the positioning of the machine here, and now I'm stuck with the blade down and I can't back up easily.
All right, get back up.
Not easily.
That's off. It's hitting.
It's hitting the boom.
It's hitting the boom. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try, I'm gonna have to go down, because I got the machine lifted up on this blade. So I gotta lift the blade, which means I gotta go down, up with the boom and down with the blade at the same time. So just, oh, too much of that. That's making it worse. Oh, there we go, we're good. Backing up. Need more up? There we go.
Can you get it up over the rail?
We'll find out.
Man, this thing is heavy.
Yeah, it feels heavy.
My dad was like, oh, we'll just do it, the three of us.
Where's he at? Just keep a hand on it until you can't.
Can you go
I'm gonna
a little bit or no?
up.
Down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, and as you back up, go down, and then I can hand it to him.
I bet you this thing weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks heavy.
It's solid iron.
Oh, it's solid?
Well, not solid, but it's all iron.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know where to put it. Just somewhere out of harm's way, I guess.
I don't even know how to put it down.
We'll lay it over there by the stones or something.
Okay.
On top of the stones.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do.
I don't know where. I just want it out of here.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to find a place to set this thing down here somewhere. I don't know. This will be interesting. Gravity's all in a weird place.
I just like want to see how heavy it is.
Yeah. Thank you.
You bet. Happy to help.
I can't imagine it anywhere
You'll
else.
get a bunch of views with this one.
There we go. It's on the ground. Our next step in preparation for the big dig that we have to do here is another window well type situation, although this one I am certain, absolutely certain, has to come out. Right here along this house there's this little patio section here, and then there's a stairwell that goes into a door in the basement. So we got to get all this out. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Some of the concrete's in really bad shape. It'll probably come out easy, but like right here, this might be kind of a challenge. This looks like it's all poured as one section with the house, so it's definitely gonna need a concrete cut right there. Might have them make a couple other cuts to kind of make things smaller for us, we'll see. But no matter what, we gotta dig out all the way around the perimeter of this thing so that the concrete guys can get in there and make their cuts, and so that we can have some room to kind of pull the pieces away from the building with. First things first, we'll dig across the end here, and then once we got that dug down deep enough, we'll dig along the side. This ground is very dry and kind of hard. Well, this has turned out to be way deeper than I expected. I'm almost running out of dig depth with this machine. There's the bottom. Gonna get the chrome on this lift cylinder clean, that's for sure. Well, folks, this got a little out of hand. We're as deep as this thing will go. I did find the bottom of the footer down there. There is no actual footer. There is a little bit of a footer ledge on this side, but over here, just a straight wall down into the ground. This ground here is so incredibly sandy that the trench had no hope of staying anywhere close to safe with benches. So we dug this all out, sloped it way back. The machine can't reach all the way down and very far out. So I ended up tracking down in here to reach some of this other stuff and everything. And I had to dig all this out because by the time we sloped this back, it left just a narrow piece of ground between the trench I had dug for this wall and the trench I had dug for this wall. So it's just turned into a lot more digging I'd like to do with this size machine. But we persevered, we're almost done. Just gotta lay this back here a little bit so it's stable, and then it'll be safe for our concrete cutting guys to get down in here and cut the wall and get into small pieces so we can get it out. There's our mountain of dirt so far. Aiden's been piling it up really nice. Hopefully the next one we do isn't nearly as bad as this one. The ground's kind of spotty. There's sand some places, there's some clay some places, it kind of just depends. It's a new day. All that digging wrapped up our day yesterday, and it worked out great because the concrete cutting guys are here now today to start cutting on that wall. They're getting everything set up. They got their power unit and their hoses all stretched out here. They're gonna make a couple cuts on that so we can tear it out easier. They're also gonna make some cuts on this wall on this end, on that wall on that end, because this kind of needs to be touched up. We need to get all this funny business off of this thing because our excavation is gonna come right up next to it when we do the big dig. And while they're here, we need them to cut these walls here. Now, we've been tasked with saving these caps and these pillars. So Aiden's setting up some straps and we're gonna give this a go. I wanna get this wall prepped so they can cut it as soon as they're done with that other wall that they're working on right now. Saving stonework is something I don't have a ton of experience in, but we're figuring it out. Hopefully it goes well enough. First things first here, we're gonna get this thing all strapped up to the excavator. And then we're gonna try and just tug on a little bit and we're just gonna see what happens. Then we'll go from there. I think the best thing to do is gonna be to apply a little bit of side pressure. So I'm gonna get my strap up here. These things really shouldn't come off of here hard. It's just a matter of the strap actually holding it and not sliding on it once it does come off. Yeah, we got movement. I'm nervous about this. Oh, there we go. I think that was pretty much problem free. I don't think we broke it or chipped it or anything bad. Very good. We're gonna set this down on a pallet and go try the next one. We took a board out of these pallets to kind of hopefully help keep these pillars from rolling off. See how that works out. Your way?
Yep.
Oh. Hold on one second. Let's see if we can get it so that square piece is square with the ground.
Good, I'll swing it towards the skid steer there. Careful, don't swing up and punch it. Very good.
We got 2x4 screwed to either side of these pillars to keep them from rolling around and bumping into each other. Hopefully they'll survive the ride up to our storage spot in the parking lot. Very good, Aiden, very good. Perfect, well done. I just gotta figure out where to put them in the sea of other things we've been saving at this job. I think we're just gonna stick them right here for now. Perfect. Aiden worked at Menards before he came to work for me. It pays to have a licensed forklift driver on site. Now we gotta get these caps off. My original hope was to knock them loose, which we did with the sledgehammer. It was easy, just put a block of wood under here and hit them once and they pop up. But I was hoping to just kind of take them and wiggle them onto a pallet that we were holding up with a skid loader. They're just way too heavy for that. I'm not gonna donate my back to the cause of saving these things. No matter what they cost, my back costs more. So we did get it lifted up with a pry bar enough to get the strap under it. So we're just gonna strap them and swing them over and set them on a pallet that way. It'll take longer, but at least I'll be able to walk for the rest of my life. Oh, they even look heavy in the sling. Oh, they're gonna be a pain to get the straps off of on that pallet too. Going up. On the next one, we ought to be careful. I didn't think it'd be a big deal. I saw the straps were twisted, but there's a chance it might swing a corner into something else and chip it. Coming down. I hit this one with a hammer a couple times and it didn't pop off like the other ones did. Put a little bit of up pressure on it with a sling on that edge. We'll try to hit it again here and see what happens. It ain't moving. I'll try pulling on a little bit more with the excavator, but I'm pretty sure it's stuck on there. Yeah, that's a lot of force. That's a lot of force I've got on it. I don't want to tear this strap up because it's not ours. I think what's going on here is this big steel pipe goes all the way down through the footer. A great way to build this and make it hold together. In fact, that's the problem. It's all holding together and I can't get it apart. Well, I talked to the big boss and we decided that though it's probably possible to save it, it's just not worth the labor that it would take to do so, especially when there's a risk of breaking it in the process. So we're just gonna abandon these end pieces and we'll save the caps in the middle and that'll be good enough. We're gonna go ahead and knock this wall out real quick and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right, both of these walls are now prepped and ready to go for the concrete guy when he gets here. Let's move on to the next thing. The last thing we have to do to prepare for Kevin, the concrete cutting guy, to do his work is dig out around this window well and dig out around part of this stairwell. The whole thing isn't coming out. We're gonna just fill part of it with stone. We have to get it out about halfway or something like that, just to make room for the big dig we gotta do here later. Part of that big excavation is that we also have to tear up this nice granite paver driveway. So we're gonna tear it up back to this white line here, straight across. We're gonna try and salvage these. Thankfully, I'm not the one that has to actually save them. I just gotta tear them up and pile them, and then they've got somebody that's gonna stick them on pallets to save them. But we gotta be as careful as we can with them. Hopefully they'll still be salvageable when we're done. It's gonna work out for us better if we get this machine up on top of these pavers, pull the bricks off towards the machine. So let's see how this goes here. We're up on top. Feels kind of strange to have a machine of destruction on such a nice surface. Rubber tracks make it okay though. I'm gonna try and pile these right over here. It's just about the only space I got left for anything. Start by trying to lift up on this, nice gentle here. Oh yeah. It's coming up nicer than I expected. This is just gonna do, no matter how careful I am, we're gonna be chipping corners and edges and stuff. Oh yeah, if it comes up in pieces like that, that'd be sweet. Yeah. Careful. Somebody's gonna have to clean all the polymeric sand off of these things too. That ain't gonna be fun. But that task isn't mine. Well, this is going pretty smoothly. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and I don't think we broke a single one of them yet. Just, it's not fast. We gotta take our time. Just keep picking away at it. Well, there we go. We got it all tore up to exactly one line in the pavers. That worked out real nice. This now has a complete concrete slab under it that's got heating tubes in it to keep this driveway clear in the wintertime. There's also about an inch or two of just mortar that they use to set the pavers. We do need to cut this because if I just start breaking it up, those tubes are going to just be a mess. They're going to be a mess no matter what. I'm not cutting the whole thing, but we need to cut it at least along here so we get a nice clean edge for them to either cap the tubes or whatever they're going to do. But we just need to make them a clean cut so you got something good to work with. Before I cut my concrete, let me show you what the concrete cutting guys are using right now. Super cool tool. Well, the battery died. Right there, right when I was that close to the end. Normally we keep an extra battery with us, would have finished it just fine. It just happened to be dead too because I forgot to charge it the other night. That kind of thing happens. Definitely will remember tonight. Works out though, we just happen to have the gas machine with us, and so we'll finish the cut up with that. folks, thanks for watching this video for so long. This project is just so big that I just keep filming every day, and I don't always know when to film a good outro or an intro. I'll have more of this project for you next weekend. Be sure to tune in. Tearing up the concrete with the heating tubes in it turned out to be a huge pain. You won't want to miss it. It's rather interesting, I think. I've never torn up anything like that before. I think we'll also finally get around to actually ripping those window wells out. That was a whole ordeal. As on theme, nothing went as expected, and it took longer and was harder than I thought. So, be sure to come back next week to see how all that goes. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Best chance of catching it. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.